Hello. Manja and I are here to give you your yoga lesson for the week, huh? You can say, hello, Annie. Huh? Let's show Annie. High five, Manja. High five. Okay, almost. Wrong ball, but yes. High five. Yeah. Okay, let's start, okay? Okay. Before I forget, one thing that I wanted to show you that you can do, I think I'll put it in at the end. Last time we did eagle arms, right? So our arms were like this. What we can do, Mancha, what? Hey. Okay, maybe he'll let us go. Okay, you can do eagle arms, but I know it was difficult for you to get to here. So one thing you can do is you can just take your right arm and put it at 90 degrees, and then just take your left arm and kind of cup your elbows so your fingers are on the outside, and then you're also making a 90 degree with this left arm, and then you just push this hand, this arm out into your right hand as you're pulling your right hand toward your left arm. So it's a push and pull motion. And so what that does is it allows us to feel the same stretch as when we make these arms. Okay? So you can do it on this side, and you can just hold it until you feel release and breathe into it, right? It's pretty intense. Last time I think we did hugging. So hugging is also perfectly fine, whichever one feels more comfortable for you, okay? Just something for you to try. Okay, so we're gonna start at the top of our mat, and we're gonna start just with our feet hips distance and our arms hanging down by our side. Roll our shoulders up and back. You can always pause the video if you haven't done your joint movements and just do some joint movements to kind of warm you up before you start. So you could always pause now and then just come back after you've done some of those, at least through your leg, and maybe just a couple twists. And then we're going to start by inhaling and bringing our arms up towards the sky. We're going to keep our hands in line with our shoulders. So we're not bringing our hands together, we're keeping them in line with our shoulders. And then from here, we're going to grab our right wrist with our left index finger and thumb. And then on the inhale, you kind of pull up, and on the exhale, we're going to tip to the right. And we're going to take a few breaths here. You can check that your top arm, it can be kind of in line with your ear, right? So just kind of moving above your ear, but parallel to it. You're also not leaning towards the front or towards the back, but you're trying to stay in line with your body, as if there were two pieces of glass in the front and the back of you, kind of holding you in one line. Okay? And on your next inhale, you can come up and come back to those straight arms in line with our shoulder. We're going to grab our left wrist with our right fingers. And inhale, we extend up. Exhale, we drop to the left. And again, just checking to make sure that we're not tipping forward. Focusing on our breath here. We're also not kicking our hip out. We're staying in line, completely in line, other than our top body, which is just angling to the side. Okay. And on your next inhale, you can come up. Bring your feet together if that's comfortable for you. The other thing that you can do is you can drop your arms to your side. The other thing you can do is just leave a little bit of space in between your back heels, which is often how I like to stand. So my toes are together, but my heels are apart. And then we're going to come into Utkatasana. So on our inhale, our arms are going to rise up, same in line, just like when we started. before we went to the right and the left. So inhale, we extend up, grounding through our feet, extending through our fingers. Exhale, we're going to sit back. I'm just going to turn so you can see my body. So now I'm just going to check in with my Utkatasana, and I'm going to look and see, are my knees over my toes? If they are, I'm going to bring them back in line with my ankles. I'm going to check that my tailbone is not pushing out, but instead is tucked under, which is more accessible if I engage my abdomen. And remembering to breathe here, I know it's probably a little shaky, you're really feeling it. Just breathe into those spaces. And on your next exhale, we're just going to come out. And we can just kind of shake everything. Okay? Just for your reference, these we often call banana. We can do them on the floor too, which is pretty comfortable. And chair pose is Utkatasana. Okay, so now from our Utkatasana, I'll stay in the middle. From our Utkatasana, okay, so sitting back down, tucking your tailbone under, engaging your abs, fingers extending up towards the sky, trying to keep our arms straight, not making a diamond shape with our elbows, but straight up in the air. And we're going to straighten our legs on the next inhale. And on the next exhale, we're just going to take our whole line, put our weight into our left foot, and take our whole right body. Sorry, that might have been a little bit confusing. So let's just start again. I'm going to go this way because of space. So we're going to inhale our arms up. And on our exhale, we're going to shift our weight into our left foot and begin to raise our right foot up as we tip forward with our arms straight out in front of us, okay? So this is kind of maybe where we end up today. If this is not where you are right now, that's okay. We can modify it, okay? And our shoulders, it does take a lot on the shoulders, right? So we can always bring our hands in front of our chest and then shift the weight into the left leg as we tip forward. That right leg comes up. Then we just want to check our toes. We can straighten our toes, but we can also take and kind of curl our toes so that they're pointing towards the floor, which will keep our hip in line. And if you're here and you're wobbling, that's okay. If you've fallen out, just come back. And we inhale. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale as we extend. Exhale. Last inhale. And on our next exhale, we just come up slowly. We can bend that right knee as we come up. Left knee as we come up. And once we get up here, just pedal it out. Now we're going to go to the other side. So again, we set up our feet, hips distance. This time we're going to shift our weight into our right side as we pick up our left foot. And on our inhale, we're going to tip. On our exhale, we're going to tip forward, toes pointing towards the floor. Again, just trying to find balance. I find it helpful to bend my right knee slightly, the leg that's working, trying to bend it slightly, and then also looking at a point just in front of you. So not down, because then you want to fall down, but instead just in front of you. So your neck is still straight, but you're just gazing at one fixed point. And on our next inhale, we can come back up and just shake it out, okay? Now we're going to try to put those to a breath, okay? So each time it's important that we reset up before we go into the next pose. So if you fall out, just take your time, set yourself back up, and get ready to go again. So the options that you have here are 1, you cannot do it at all. And 2, you can put your arms straight, parallel to each other, or 3, you can bring your arms just in front of your chest. So we're gonna make this in one breath, this motion in one breath. So we inhale to extend, exhale as we tip forward, inhale brings us up, and we drop that foot back so our feet are parallel. So now I'm ready to do it again. So let's just stay on on the one side for now. So we're going to be picking up our right leg for right now. So we'll come back, feet hip distance apart, hands in front of our chest. Inhale as we extend, exhale as we tip forward. Inhale as we come up with that slightly bent left knee, and we gently set our right foot down. Okay, let's try it on the left side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tip forward. And you might notice the side is harder or easier than the other. Inhale, up. Exhale, foot on the floor. Okay, checking our feet are parallel. Getting my legs ready, my upper body ready for the next pose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, we tip forward. Inhale, up. Okay, perfect. Okay, now from here, our Tadasana pose. We've now tipped forward, so you know where we're going, right? So we're tipping forward. You can just watch right now if you'd like. And then instead of on the exhale coming back to the parallel footing, right, our Tadasana stance, we are going to come back into a lunge. So we're just going to drop it down, okay? All right, so let's set up for a lunge on that first side. So inhale, extend. We're going to exhale, bring our right leg up. And now inhale to lengthen, and exhale, we bend our right knee as we just set our toes of the left foot. We bend our left knee and we set the toes of our right foot down on the ground. Our heel, our back heel is lifted. So let's just stay here for a moment and find our stability and strength. So we've been in this pose many times before. So you can think of your own mental cues first before I give them and see which ones you remember. So from here, our knee is in line with our ankle, and our knee is kind of in the direction of our second toe, right? We don't want it to fall out or cave in. Now our back leg is active. It's helping to support us. So we feel that pushing down in our front leg, and we want to feel that energy shooting out towards our back leg, okay? So really, you can come up on your tippy toes and re-engage. So now if I touch my right quad, it is working and I feel it, right? And so just for now, inhale your arms up into this pose that maybe you loathe with our arms up like this, but hopefully you find just some attention, Mary. And now we're going to inhale our hands to our chest. Exhale, tip forward. Inhale, coming back up with that lifted right foot. Exhale as we bend our left knee and place our right foot down, hips distance apart. Okay, and you can just take a moment and just bend your knees, shake it out. Now we continue to the next side. So inhale, we extend. Exhale, we shift onto our right foot, picking up our left foot. Inhale, extend, lengthening here. Exhale, we bend the right knee and place the back foot, our left foot down. Only our toes are down, our heels are up. So just like the other side, checking that alignment in the front leg, our right leg, knee over ankle, knee in line with second toe. My hips are facing forward. I'm engaging with that back leg. It's really working to hold me up. On my next inhale, I bring my arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring them down in front of your chest. Inhale, we tip forward. Exhale here. Inhale, we push off lifting our left leg. Exhale, we bring our left leg down. And so you can always pause at any time and just practice those transitions. They're going to help you both with strength and with flexibility. When you're stepping back into the lunge, especially with a hip replacement, but even just for me, for anybody, you don't have anything to prove. So you're not trying to get the lowest lunge, right? The most extension. In fact, if I'm here, I feel it just as much as when I'm down here. And I feel a lot more stable up here. So don't worry on about how far back your leg goes. It's more important to feel strong in this pose and feel your alignment. So you can take a moment, pause, and go through some of those. So the basic move that, not basic as in easy, but this kind of foundational transition that we're working on is where we shift our weight and we lift up that leg that we're not shifting our weight in, and then we step back. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on. Now, from there, I'd like you to come down to your knees. I had prepared this for this week, so it's just something you can kind of practice at home in preparation for next week. You can come up onto your knees. Your knees are also hips distance, and then just take a look behind and just check that your toes aren't in. They're also in a line. Again, your ankle is in line with your knee, right? Always, unless otherwise directed. And I feel like I'm not crushing my knee. If you have any soreness in your knee, you can just take your mat and roll it up to whatever degree of comfort you need. You can also take a blanket and put it under there. Okay, so from here, we're just gonna take our hands, and you can bring your thumbs and put them back like this, or you can take and put it like this, okay? Whichever one is comfortable. I prefer this because it gives me more support in my lower back. So my hands, here is my sacrum, that kind of like flat bone, right? And here's my spine. So my hands are just above my hip, right? So if I'm holding my hips here, like my hip bones, I can feel them. I'm going just above, okay? So here's my hip, here are my hips, and my fingers are just above my hips, okay? You'll kind of feel where it feels comfortable. All right, and so now that I've put my hands in place, I just wanna be mindful about bringing my elbows back. So when I do that, I'm bringing my elbows in. So now my chest naturally comes out, which is great, but we don't also want our abdomen to come out. So again, we start with our hands like this, and then we just pull our shoulder blades towards one another, looking straight. Now you're going to inhale to extend, and exhale, you start to lean back. Now everyone's place is different, but you'll feel a threshold of, I'm gonna fall over, I can't support myself, versus this is really hard, but I can support myself. And that's where we want you to be, right? Where it's difficult, but you can just come back to that neutral space and just let your arms hang. So we don't want to come all the way back where you might fall. You don't want to find yourself in that position. You want to just come back enough where you feel that front of your legs really working. And what our hands are doing is they're just helping our hips stay in place, helping support our lower back so that we're not kicking our stomach out, but instead remembering we want everything to be in line. Okay? So let's try one more time. Okay? So inhale, extend. Exhale, wrap your shoulder blades towards one another as you gently lean back. Now take an inhale here. And then exhale here. One more, inhale, exhale, and the exhale brings you back to neutral. So now you can just lean forward. The natural place to go, right? When we're on our knees, we lean forward and we're in a tabletop position. So in our tabletop position, we're checking that our knees are under our hips and our shoulders are in line with our wrists. And our fingers are glued to the mat, right? They're really pressing into the mat, almost creating a little pocket under our palm. And we're just gonna do some cat-cows here. So on the inhale, we're going to tuck our, on our inhale, we're going to drop our abdomen towards the mat as we lift our head to look straight. And on the exhale, we're going to start with your lower back. So tucking your tailbone under first and feeling that wave as you begin to tuck your abdomen, eventually tucking your ribs, bringing your chin to your chest. And inhale, we drop the lower part of our abdomen and bringing our chest through our hands, looking straight up. We don't need to look up towards the ceiling because that creates a tension in our cervical spine and our upper spine. Exhale, we tuck our tailbone, tuck your abdomen, tucking your chin. Inhale, one more, coming through. Exhale, coming up. All right. So after you do your cat-cows, you can come to your back. And a few classes ago, if you remember, we just dropped our knees. So you can try just dropping your knees to one side and just creating like a gentle twist in your back and dropping your knees to the other side. Okay, so it doesn't have to be really technical. You can place something under, like a couple pillows or a couple books to kind of catch your knees. Don't let them fall so much that your whole body, side body is up off the ground. You want to try to keep your hips on the ground or as much as possible. Okay, so just letting your knees fall. We also call it windshield wipers, so you can just separate your feet as well and just windshield wipe to the right, to the left. You can slow it down, making really intentional motions. So we inhale, bringing our knees up, and we exhale, bringing them down. Inhale up, exhale down. Okay. I'm a little sweating. So that class is mostly strengthening, but as you said, like your joints will also feel pretty fluid afterwards, especially I think around your hips, right? So we're just working on building that strength. So let me know what you think. I haven't done this in a long time, so it was a little nerve-wracking, and I fumbled a lot while I was talking, but you know, it's just kind of a thing I need to get more used to. So thank you. All right, I hope you have a good day, and of course, at the end, I always just love to bow my head in gratitude towards myself, and also just maybe saying 1, 2, or 3 things that you're grateful for today, and just throughout the day maybe taking note of those things as they come up. Okay, namaste.